Hey there, my Tyler Perry Sistas fans. It's your girl Barbie J here with another question from one of my subscribers about Miss Lisa. So I'm shouting out Tanya Lepa. Or is it Lipa? Tanya Lipa. I am shouting you out because she had a good question and I want to hear what everybody has to say about this. Because it's Miss Lisa trying to play two sides of the fence or whatever, but it says question. Why, when Fatima was talking about Karen calling her the biatch word, Miss Lisa acted like she didn't know? And she said, why is it she's acting like it was the first time she heard it? So she referenced season 5, episode 2, My Boyfriend's Back. That episode where Zach went to see Karen because Karen had called up from the hospital when Aaron wouldn't tell her who let him know that Karen was in the hospital. So she assumed it was Fatima and called her up and called her all kind of biatches and stuff, tell her and all this stuff. You know, all of that. She knew it wasn't Fatima, but she wanted to blame her. But remember, Fatima got mad at Zach, and then Fatima wanted Zach to go over there, so Zach went over to Karen's house to talk to her, and Miss Lisa wouldn't allow him to see her because she had been put on bed rest. Do y'all remember that one? So when she kept asking Zach, what does he want? Like, why is he there? And he said, look, Miss Lisa, he was saying, I got a new lady. And then Miss Lisa interrupted him and said, oh, yeah, I heard about the new lady. And then he said, well, Karen done called up, my lady and cussed her out and called her all kind of biatches and stuff. And I can't have that. And Miss Lisa goes, well, is she a biatch? Now, see, Miss Lisa was wrong. You can't say nothing to Karen when you did the same thing. And I was like, why would a mother say that? Well, is she a biatch? And Zach was like, no, she is not. And he was like, I just need her to stop. And so then he asked her, can you talk to her? Because he's like, I've moved on and she's not getting it. So Miss Lisa knew about it. And it's strange. Maybe she didn't want to think it was true because it was from Zach. It made no sense. I don't know. I was just wondering what you guys thought down in the comment section. So let me know your thoughts. Because I also think he even mentioned about her popping up at the house, saying she keep popping up in the house and, to my house, and I moved on. So it was things like that. And why is Miss Lisa playing like she didn't hear this before? So I'm going to go over what happened in last week's episode when Fatima had to school her, Karen, and said, when someone who's not my friend or in my circle calls me a biatch, that's a call to war. So I'll make this very clear, Karen. And that's when, Zach was like, She said, I've been very respectful and I haven't called you out of your name unless you call me out of mine first. But that expiration date has passed. And I was like, okay, now. And then for Karen to go, and as have your presence in my house. Now get out. Your mother invited her there. And that's where I get annoyed with Miss Lisa not jumping on her behind about that, even that. Because I'm like, Miss Lisa telling her to apologize is a joke if you ask me. Because she looks at her and say, is this true, Karen? And Karen said, yeah, I said it. But you didn't. I know somebody wrote, a parent won't check them in front of company and others. But you invited her there. So you don't get to disrespect guests in your house. Your mother invited her. And then even in that second part, but let me finish, wait. But Miss Lisa is acting like she never heard this before, like I was saying. And that's baffling to me. And if this is what you're doing, you need to apologize. And she's like, Mama, there's a lot you don't know. I'm not doing this. Y'all get out of my house. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you sit there while your child behaves like this is beyond me. But the other thing is, when they alone, you don't hear her even check her once they mention Fatima again. because she's with Karen later in the bedroom and she's saying, you're right about her. She seems really cool. And Karen says, I know, it makes me want to hate her even more. I'm like, come on. I wish she was a biatch. But you done called her biatch so many times. And then the mother goes, and about that biatch thing, you know she was right about that. And Karen lies and says, it was just a misunderstanding. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a misunderstanding. You called them up. You called Zach's phone. You called Fatima's phone, bothering them because of this. And Miss Lisa should have checked her. She should have checked her. Even in that scene when they're alone together, we should have seen Miss Lisa check Karen, because she was told already and informed what Karen was doing, and she tried to act like it was a big surprise. So is Miss Lisa paying both sides of the fence, or trying to, what is this she doing? Pretending that Zach didn't already say it. No wonder Zach didn't want to say nothing, because he's like, I already said all this stuff to you, Miss Lisa. You already know about your daughter. So what is this all about? And I understood him. What is this all about? Because I'm sure Karen already told her about Zach in these 3 years. Miss Lisa know his stuff. So who was her reading the letter for? She knew all that stuff that was in her. What, for Aaron's purpose? I don't know. Like I said, I think it was for Fatima's purpose, so that was her last ditch effort to try to get Fatima to leave Zach. But anyway, this one is about Miss Lisa. Y'all let me know your thoughts and feelings about her. Thank you, Tanya Leeper, for a wonderful question, and I hope we get some great comments from it. This your girl Barbie J saying, see you in the next video. Peace.
But I do got a new lady, and she called her, cussed her out, called her all sorts of bitches and shit.
Is she a bitch?
No, she's not a bitch.